students, this is Dr. Vibha Tiwari, Assistant Professor of English, Chaudhry Balluram Godara, Government Girls College, Sri Ganganagar. So I'm back with another video on the poem The Lady of Shallot by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Students, in the previous videos, I had told you people that the Lady of Shallot used to just remain all alone in an island, and the island was connected to the city of Camelot by way of a river. And the lady was not supposed to move out. She was under the spell of some curse, and she was not allowed to move out. She even did not have the access to the outside world through her window. That means she even was not allowed to look outside the window. So all the time she used to be all alone, and the only thing that she used to have for her pastime was her weaving art. All the time she used to weave a web, and the material, or rather you can say the things that she used to weave in her web, that came in her mind by way of looking at the mirror. There was a mirror in her room, and the mirror just was hung in such a position that it used to reflect the passage which connected it to the city, connected the island to the city of Camelot. So whatever happened in the city, or whosoever passed through that passage, that image got reflected in the mirror itself. And the lady of Shallot used to look at that mirror all the time, and whatever she saw on the mirror as reflection, she used to weave that in her web, and this way she used to pass her time. So in the previous video I had told you people that she used to see a monk riding on a horse. Other times she used to see girls giggling and just running towards marketplace. Sometimes she used to see the officials of the court, and sometimes she used to see funeral processions, and sometimes she used to enjoy the sights of marriage procession. So all sorts of happenings whatsoever happened in the city, that got reflected in the mirror, and she used to enjoy those sights, and by getting inspired from those things, she used to actually weave those things in her web, that magical web she all the time she used to weave. So in this particular paragraph also, the same thing is being described by the poet, that what she used to see in that mirror. So let's have the original lines first. Or when the moon was overhead, came two young lovers lately wed. I'm half sick of shadows, said the lady of Shallot. See, here I would like to tell you people that this particular portion is the last part of the second part, or the second unit of this poem, The Lady of Shallot. So, in the first part, the poet had described the beauty of that particular area or the land where the lady was residing. And not only that, the river which was opposite to that particular island was also described in detail by the poet. And we can say that it was a very lovely place where she was residing. In the second part, we actually came to know that there was the Lady of Shallot who used to reside in an island all alone in a palace, and there was a mirror in her palace where she used to gaze all the time, and the mirror reflected the images from the city and the river. So this portion, these lines are the last lines of the second part of the poem. So here again the poet says, or when the moon was overhead, came two young lovers lately wed. And as I told you people, that all the time the Lady of Shallot used to gaze at the mirror, and she used to weave whatever she saw on the mirror as reflection. So sometimes when the moon was overhead, that means when it was the night of full moon or late at night, especially on full moon night, late in the night, two young lovers, they came secretly to meet one another. and they at last they got even you can say married also. But when they had their secret meetings, only Lady Charlotte was you can say a kind of witness to those meetings, because their images were reflected on the mirror, and the Lady of Charlotte used to gaze at the mirror and saw them meeting. So we can say that she was the only witness, apart from the natural objects, she was the only witness of those meetings of those two young lovers. I am half sick of shadows, said the Lady of Charlotte. Finally, see, it's human tendency. We cannot love monotony. For the, you can say, for a particular time period, we can adjust with these things, but not for long, because change is in our nature. So the lady also got bored by just gazing at the mirror all the time. Though she was under curse, under the spell of curse, she wasn't allowed to move out. Even then, she got bored, because there is this tendency in human beings to break the monotony. And finally, she also felt bored by simply looking at the mirror and just weaving all the time. So she declared, I'm half sick of shadows, said the Lady of Shalott. Finally, she declared that she was bored. She wanted to get rid of just looking at the mirror and just weaving all the time. So she said that she was half sick, bored of you can say, all the time, this act of gazing at the mirror. So you can say that by the end of the part 2, we come to know that the lady actually got bored of her monotonous life, and now there is a kind of excitement of what is going to happen in the part 3, because we somehow the poet has given us an idea that the lady is going to do something which is going to break the spell. So naturally, the third part is going to be more exciting. So I think the things were clear with you. The paragraph was clear to you. This was all about the part 2 of The Lady of Shalott. In my next video, I'm going to take up the part 3. That's all for today.